Tim Podasic for Gibbons Motor Toys. Today we're going to talk about the Stabicraft 1450 Explorer. The Explorer is the tiller handle version of the 1450 Stabicraft. They also build a Frontier, which is a side console, which we'll do a separate video on. Basically the same boat, it's just a tiller handle instead of a side console. This is a 14.5-foot boat with about a 76-inch beam. The big thing to remember here is that, when we're talking a 14-foot boat, a lot of people think, wow, that's a small boat. Well, like every other Stabicraft boat, you really have to compare it to other boats that are going to be at least 2 feet longer. And you'll see why as we go through this. First of all, this is going to be a 14.5-foot boat that you're not going to be scared to take out in big water. And I'm talking salt water or fresh water. So not only is the boat safe, it's very stable. We'll get into that a little bit more, but just look at the way that it's built from here. Look at the structure of the boat. Look at the rub rail that's all around it. Look at so this has got, like every Stabicraft, you've got your aero pontoon. So this is actually a pontoon. So there's 3 separate pontoons here. We'll show you how those air chambers come into play here as we get around the boat. And what those allow is they allow for a huge reverse chine. So if you look at the bottom of this hull, you're going to see that you've got a very nice wide reverse chine that goes right from the stern to the bow. Look at the deep V that's also in the bow of this boat. So it is a 15-degree dead rise with a nice deep V in the front. So this thing is going to ride really, really well in rough water. And again, comparable to boats of much larger than what the size of this is. As we move along the boat, you'll see, first of all, we put all our Stabicraft boats on heavy-duty galvanized easy loader trailers. This is easy to show you from the outside. This is an optional bracket for an electric bow mount. We'll show you that more as we get to the inside. You can obviously see the bow rails that are on here, so you've got lots of places to hold on to. And again, you'll see that better as we get inside the hull. We've got a rub rail that surrounds the hull. We've got the nice wide gunnels. We've got the rod holders. We'll show you that as well once we get inside. As we move to the stern of the boat, there are some unique things that Stabicraft does with their sterns. So one of the biggest traits with Stabicraft is the ability to back up. So all Stabicraft boats have what's called basically a game chaser transom, meaning that the boat backs up and steers almost as well as when you're going forward. That's a very important feature, both from a safety aspect and from a fishing standpoint. The other thing that's unique on the 1450 is this doesn't have electric bilge pumps in it, but it does have sculpers that self-bail. So there are plugs inside that you can put in, but if you got water, you're dealing with lots of fish, you're spraying down your boat, you're throwing water in to wash it, all you got to do is take the plugs out. Those sculpers aren't going to allow water to come in. As soon as you're on step, the boat's going to self-drain. So that's kind of a cool feature. These plugs right here are not drain plugs. There's 3 of them. There's one on the port, one on the starboard, one in the center. And those are the plugs that are for the air chambers of the pontoon boats. So the theory there is those plugs go in when the boat's in the water. When the boat comes out of the water, you leave them out so that there is no pressure built up. As for the dead rise, we told you this is a 15-degree dead rise. So for a 14.5-foot boat, that is a very steep dead rise compared to most boats. And if you look here, you can see this is your pontoon. And take a look at that reverse chine that you got here. That reverse chine, like we said from the start of the video, goes right from the stern to the bow. And what that does is really assists with keeping the boat stable. And if we want to talk about that for a minute, because this is a feature of every Stabicraft boat, one of the biggest things that our customers enjoy is how stable they are when you're out there, standing out there all day on rough water, and you don't have people getting sick. If you've ever been out in an inflatable boat with those air chambers, you know how stable those boats are. Well, the Stabicraft boat, doesn't matter if it's the 14-foot right up to the 27-foot, the stability at rest is amazing. The other thing is the ability to break through the rough water and be safe and maintain a fairly level boat. As we look to the starboard side, this has got an optional swim platform, boarding ladder. Makes it really easy to egress and ingress the boat, whether it's on the trailer, on the beach, or if you're swimming. We'll talk about the engine. So we typically will power this 1450 with either a 30 horse or a 40 horse. 40 horse is the maximum for a tiller design. The Frontier does have a maximum of 50 horsepower with the side console. This has got the Mercury Sea Pro engine that we put on it. What's unique here is that it's a 40 horsepower engine, but if you look at the lower gear case, this has got the same gear case as what a 75, 90, or 115 engine will have. So this has got our command thrust lower unit. So like I said, it's a much larger gear case. It just has a lower gear ratio than what, say, a 75 or a 90 or a 115 would have. The tiller handle on this is very unique. So this tiller handle can be placed at different positions. We've elected to put this one in the center of the engine, as you can see. This allows me, if I prefer to run this engine with my left hand, I can do it. If I prefer to run it with my right hand, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. It makes no difference. Gear shift, forward, neutral, and reverse is right here, easy to access. Power trim and tilt is right here, very easily accessible. If I want to stand up and operate this boat, I have a lever here where I can lock this lever in at whatever height I want. So if I want to be standing up operating this and I want my tiller handle up here, how cool is that? And so simple to do. And if I do want to adjust this where I want to offset it one way or the other, because I only drive with one hand or the other, that adjustment is also very easily made as well. You can see that the key switch is right there, tether cord is right here, throttle friction adjustment is right here. So this is just a really robust tiller handle that's extremely functional. You can probably see there's an inline fuel filter here. We have the battery back here. We install a shut-off switch on all our boats. So it just makes this a very useful area where you can still got ability to store more supplies in the boat, yet everything's very accessible. So looking at the interior of the boat, starting with the stern, you can see you've got this bench seat here. And this boat does have the ultra deck option. So your floor, your gunnels, all areas that are pretty much of a horizontal surface are covered with the ultra deck. So that's a pretty nice option, makes the boat really comfortable. Here you can see the aero pontoons. This is the inside of the pontoons here. The one big advantage that we have is look how wide the gunnels are and look at the storage that you have here. So the one thing about this goes for every Stabicraft boat is the amount of gear, tackle, rods, etc. that you can store in the gunnels. It really keeps things off the floor. The other thing is, if you look at the gunnels, you'll notice that we've got the rod holders positioned so that the ones towards the stern are pointing backwards. The ones that are more forward on the gunnels are pointed out to the sides. So you've got 4 rods that you can position and run at the same time where you don't have a conflict. You've got cup holders, you've got the multi-tool holders. The other big function of the gunnels is how wide they are and how comfortable they are. You can sit here virtually all day and be extremely comfortable, not have a sore back, and have a comfortable place to sit on with the U-deck. That bait board is removable, so just a handy place for processing your bait or cleaning fish, whatever it is that you want to do. And that is removable. As far as this Icy Tech cooler, this is an option. We've just added it to this boat. Makes for another great place to sit when you're underway in particular. So we've got the cushions on here, and these Icy Tech coolers are awesome. They will hold ice for as comparable as any high-end cooler on the market today. As we look at the interior of the bow of the boat, look at the area that you got here for usability. You can literally sit anywhere here. You've got something to hang on to here and here if you're in rough conditions. So that holds true all the way along here. On both sides the same. You've got 4 vertical rod holders here for holding rods when you're underway. There's a battery shelf for your electric trolling motor if you choose to go with that option. I think another real important thing to point out, and we have tested this out on the water, and you can put a 250 plus pound person up here, and he can stand up here doing his casting, and even when the wind's blowing and the water is rough, you try to rock this boat, it just doesn't move a whole lot. So again, going back to the stability of the boat and how comfortable it is to fish out of and be out there all day without the big rocking motion that you would typically get on a boat that's even, a 16 or 17 foot range. As for the performance on this boat, unfortunately, we never got our official water test specs done on the 1450. Winter came too fast, and however, we did have the 30 horse. I was saying we've rigged these with both 30s and 40 horsepowers. And I know that with a 30 horse, I'm pretty sure that the top speed was 27 miles an hour. That included 3 full-size people in the boat. And that was just on a quick run before ice was coming out. So come spring, we'll make it a priority to get full water specs, so you can look at our website and see what the difference is between a 30 and a 40 horsepower. What I can tell you is that whether it's a 30 or 40 horse, boat gets up on step almost instantly. And the fuel economy is going to be amazing on either one of those power packages. Hopefully this video has helped you understand the Stabicraft 1450 Explorer model a little bit better. As always, if you subscribe to our channel, you'll see more videos like this, and thanks for watching.